Hello, everyone. It's Real Talks. Loti here, your host. I am with the one and only Marcell. We've returned. We returned for another episode.
Real talks, baby. Let's go.
Let's talk, man. Let's talk about your career because I'm really interested, and I want these young people to really understand, the trajectory of your career and how you got to where you are. Let's get into it. First things first. What did you want to be when you were younger?
I think people can say astronaut, fireman, footballer. Actually, I mentioned it there. Fireman. Yeah. That's what I wanted to be. So lots of people might think they want to be young people these days might want to be an influencer, an actor, musician. For me, it was a humble fireman. Yeah, that's what I wanted to save people's lives. That was it. Yeah, that was cool.
That's it. That's inspirational that you wanted to make a difference. Yeah, did you expect to be where you are now?
Oh, absolutely not. Like, if you could rewind the time and put me at 11 years old, going into year 7, and say, lad, like a teacher, let's say, Loti, you come into my school as you are now and say, oh, Marcell, hello, young man. You're going to be working for one of the biggest companies in the world, doing talks all over the country and all over the globe to inspire young people. I'd be like, hey, shut up, bro. Nah.
You do. You take a minute, don't you? Sometimes you look back and you think, nah, this isn't happening.
No,
this isn't
it's weird.
But that's hard work and, and so many other things. Now, obviously, you spoke about from one of the biggest sports brands in the world, a key member of that company. And what are some of the key milestones in your career? Some of the key people you've worked with, if we can name names of people that, that have inspired you, that you've had the pleasure of being in the company of.
Yeah, there's a few. So, like, I think if I start in education, I think that will set the theme, because there's maybe 2-3 teachers max who got me through GCSEs and got me through A levels. So there was a big shout out to Miss Wood.
Miss Wood,
big shout out to Miss Wood for the A level conversation that we had, like, because I hopefully she listens to it. So I'll try and tag in my old school, because it's kind of her fault I'm not a fireman.
What did you do, Miss Wood?
So no, she's the reason why I'm here. She encouraged me to go to uni.
Yeah.
To have a backup.
Yeah.
She was my head of year at the time, and she told me to go to uni, which I did.
Yeah.
So big up Miss Wood for that, because that's what got me to Manchester and that's what got me to university. Yeah. But similarly, like I said, it also stopped me from becoming a fireman, but it wasn't her fault. It was politics.
Yeah.
So that stopped me from becoming a fireman. But then from a career perspective, I won't big up too many names, but there's definitely been some inspirational people who've guided me on certain journeys and inspired me. And I think, there's I won't name names just because I don't want anybody to feel like they're left out.
Yeah, of course.
But I've learned so much from so many different people, and the power of network. Yeah, it's truly your net worth, because if it wasn't for my network, whether that's through sport or whether that's through my career, I wouldn't be here. Yeah, we wouldn't know each other if it wasn't for network.
Absolutely,
right?
Yeah, 100%, definitely. And I think young people need to understand networking is such an important part of life. 100%. You talk about conversations that you have with people that met a long time ago, and look how we got back to where we are. You're on so many inspiring boards. Talk to us a little bit about how that feels, being an important part of trusts and establishments.
It's incredibly humbling. It's an absolute honor, and it's a privilege, and it does blow your mind a little bit, because I think as you navigate through school and then you get your jobs and then you navigate your career trajectory, you always have an impression of where you are. Yeah. And I don't think anybody in a professional job, unless they're the owner of the business or they are at the top of that job, like a director or something, I don't think you truly understand the power or influence you have in those roles, because there's always somebody above you.
Yeah.
And when I have been asked to, that sounds posh, asked. When I've been asked to be like a member of a board, or a board director, trustee at a charity, that makes strategic decisions on how that business is run. Yeah. At first, you're thinking, "What have you seen? Like that's not me."
Yeah.
But then they go through the recruitment processes that every company goes through.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, they say, no, it is you, and we want you because you offer this. You kind of go, wow, like, no, you're right. Like, that is me. You value the hard work that I've put in and the knowledge that I can share with you. So, you know, at first it's scary. And I think for any young person, if you see an opportunity and maybe they reach out to you and they say, hey, you'd be good for this, you can go into that shell of, nah, I'm not good at it. Yeah. But trust the process. If they've come to you, there's a reason why they've come to you.
Yeah.
And then just own it and do it. And
absolutely.
That's what I do.
Yeah, there's a line I love saying, and it's just say yes and worry about it later.
Oh,
absolutely.
100%.
Say yes and worry about it later. And you inspire me actually because, and you know you do, like I've told you before, but I've always wanted to be a school governor. Yeah. And so that you were, and etc. And I became one, you know, so it's never too late to make a difference. Now, what type of set of skills did you have to develop to get to the position you are, to get from wanting to be a fireman to then going to uni to get into the roles that you are?
Networking.
Yeah.
I think networking is incredibly powerful. Yeah. So you can start networking when you're in uni, college, GCSEs, you know, normal secondary school. And I always say that to young people. Yeah. You never know where that person next to you is going to end up. They could be your future boss. Yeah. So you don't have to like them. You're never going to get on with anybody. You don't always become best friends with the people you network in life. Yeah. That's the reality. But know who they are. And if you ever end up in a circumstance like I've been in the past where you end up with nothing, you know you can say, hey, I've seen you on my network, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you've seen them, message them, hey, how did you get that job? Yeah. Yeah. And they would typically 9 times out of 10 say, I did this. Yeah. So networking, absolutely. Being organized. Like, you can never do any job if you're not organized. So if you are not motivated to manage your own time and stick to it, so kind of like school, if you're not motivated to do that and you're going to go into a professional environment, then that's just not going to work out. Even if you want to own your own business, you have to be organized because you need to know where you need to be, what you've got on, and how you're going to vision your development. So being organized, and then just, you know, have a plan and have a goal. Yeah. They were the skills that I had. So I could say you could learn IT skills, you could learn numeracy, all this. That will come in time, and things like that will build as you're going in the job, depending on what job you're in. But being able to communicate, strategize, and have an idea and a plan of where you want to go, everything else can come in between that.
It's important, all those points as well, because, you know, for the young people, they might not know what they want to do in life. Yeah. But rightly say, if they have a particular set of skills, that's going to take them further, I guess.
100%. Like, and I didn't know that I wanted to be where I'm at right now, right? So like we've talked about, like firemen and all this kind of stuff, but I always say, like, you have a goal, right? So you have, like, for me, it was fireman. Yeah. You might have a fireman, you might be a pro footballer, that might be a goal. And then you think as a coach, right? You have certain objectives that you need to hit along the way. Now, it could be you need to be a better communicator. You need to learn how to use Microsoft Excel, all these things, right? To become a professional footballer or whatever. If that doesn't become the reality, that's not all wasted work. Yeah. You take all of them objectives that you've achieved and you figure out what's the next thing I can transfer all this across to. Yeah. You know? And if it is something that you're passionate about, so like, essentially my job is recruitment, right? Yeah. Essentially. The core of it is recruitment. Being a fireman, it was about helping people. Recruitment, essentially what I do now is about changing people's lives in the opportunities that I can provide for them. Yeah. So all I've done is taken the skills that I tried building being a fireman, being fit, agile, and put that into sport. Yeah. But then the philosophies of being organized, communicating, getting on with people, helping people, I've put into recruitment. Yeah. So I've just taken those objectives and pivoted and shifted, and also kept close to my passion. Yeah. That's important. So transferable skills, really. Yeah. You know, and that's important. I think young people, you know, you may not know what you want to do in life, but as Marcell said, it's important to have that. Now, what advice would you give to a young person who has imposter syndrome? Because we speak about it a lot. Yeah. And they are going to get to this point where they feel like that. It might be college, might be university. Yeah. What advice would you give to those young? Speak. So as a young person and you've got imposter syndrome and you're like, I'm not good at this. Yeah. I can't do that. I shouldn't be here, etc. Speak. Yeah. Speak to your parents. Your parents might not understand it, right? they're your first protocol. You always got to speak to your parents. Try and get into them. If they don't understand it, speak to your friends. Like, or seek out people. Don't go and seek Kanye West and Elon Musk. They're not going to respond to you, right? But seek people like yourself, you know, like all the milkfluencers, and ask advice. Again, I'm using that posh word. Ask some advice from these people, right? Like, am I where I need to be? What can I achieve? How did you do? Can I hear your story? Listen to real talks, because you're listening to people like you who have achieved. And they will have very similar journeys to you. That's why we do these podcasts, right? That's why you invite people like myself onto Real Talks, because this is real. And we've come from nothing. And we've had these feelings, and now we're here.
Absolutely.
So if you are having those feelings, like and subscribe onto this podcast 100%, because you will hear that. That's not pre-prep either. But like and subscribe on this, because you will hear the nuggets of information from people just like you. We might sound and look a bit different now because we're old, but you know,
like to think you're right.
You know, but we all been there. We struggle with GCSEs. We've been in violent situations, and we've made it out the other end.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many young people that are going to be in the same boat, and every time we get to June and July, when it's time to A-level results, GCSE results, young people are worried and thinking, what next? What can you advise
anxiety
them?
that life puts on them at that age it blows my mind.
Frightening, isn't it?
Bro, like, honestly, why are we putting our young people at 15, 16, 17, 18 years old through a position of anxiety of, if I fail this, my life's over? Absolutely. No, it's not. Like, stop putting that. Just encourage them to do their best.
Yeah. 100%.
Like, it blows my mind sometimes.
You know, because it's not about how many times you fall, right?
Exactly.
It's about how you get up and how many times you get up and keep going. You know, so it's really important to have, and for these people to hear this, because they are going to go through this. They are going to, look up to you. They're going to listen to your story, and they're going to want to know, you know, what did you do when you had those really difficult moments where you think, maybe I need to change career, or maybe this isn't for me. How did you react, and how did you deal with that?
I looked at things and put it into perspective of, like, okay, well, when I'm having a tough time, what is the value? So again, it's looking at, like, what's my value? What's my purpose? And is this suiting my value and purpose? So when I was in a certain career early on in my life that I left and had changed the industry of, similar, it's in terms of recruitment industry, I looked at it and thought, do I want to be doing this when I'm 30 years old, 40 years old? Do I want to be going to work every day, hating what I do, being treated like crap for the rest of my life? No,
you don't.
But how do I take those skills and put them somewhere else where I'm going to be passionate every day? So when it comes to Sunday and you're watching Coronation Street on repeat, or whatever young people are watching these days, I'm sure it's Coronation Street or The Bill.
That's what we used to back in the day.
I don't know. Let's say you're scrolling on TikTok for 5 hours at 5 p.m.
Love Island.
The last thing you want to be doing is thinking, nah, I got to go work next day.
The Sunday scaries.
Sunday scaries, mate. The Sunday scaries are real. And when that happens, change reality. And again, put in perspective, like, what is valuable for me? What do I want to be doing for the next 30, 40 years? What am I going to have the most fun out of? Because you spend more time at work than you do at home. So you have to enjoy it.
You got.
And then if you are enjoying it, so like my reality right now, I love what I do. Love it. Sometimes I get stressed, right?
Of course, we do. It's part of life.
100%. And sometimes I think, oh, this is unfair. This is that. I don't like what I'm doing this week. Blah, 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 blah. But then I look at, okay, well, is it actually that bad? Is the grass greener elsewhere? Maybe, maybe not. Do I have different realities? Like, you just have to put things into perspective sometimes. And sometimes things aren't as bad as you think they are. And that's when you just have to sit down, check yourself and think, is it the Sunday scaries or is it just my reality because I'm on a bad day?
Sometimes it's just realizing what you have got, you know, and putting it into, you know, perspective. 100%. And like you said, what is one piece of advice that you would give to a young person who's aspiring to be a Marcell?
Oh, wow. Be yourself. And I'll break that down. Be yourself. Don't be anybody else. You have to own yourself. Listen to good advice, but not advice that's going to change who you are as a person.
Yeah.
You are exactly who you are meant to be. You're not who somebody expects you to be.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
So you have to work hard, be dedicated, know what you want, and follow your path. The moment somebody tries to change your mannerisms, your cultural identity, saying you have to wear certain, not clothing, but you have to act a certain way in an office environment. No, you hire me as me.
Yeah.
If you can't take the whole of me, don't take any of me.
Absolutely. Wow. Be yourself.
Be yourself.
I can't tell you enough how much you need to take note of what we just spoke about with Marcell. So be yourself, mate. Thank you very much.
And just to add to that, be yourself and be confident in it, bro.
Yes.
Because confidence, and it can trickle to arrogance very quickly.
Absolutely.
And I had that for a long period of my time in my career. But being confident in who you are, it will open doors, even when you don't feel confident. Being able to, the moment you walk over that threshold and you feel anxiety and you feel pressure and nervous, you're already confident because you walked over that threshold.
Yeah.
Be confident, be yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for the invaluable advice. Guys, it's been Real Talks with me and Marcell.
Real Talks.
Keep it real and keep watching.